This is a tarot reading for the year of the rabbit, which stretches from around January 25th, 2023 until February the 5th, 2024. I know you want me to be precise, but I can't be because it's based on the lunar year, which of course is subject to change. This is a reading for the tiger, and if you don't know what sign you are, it's based on your year of birth, and there's a crib in the description to this video. However, if you're born at the end of January, it's a lot more complicated and you need to Google it. But Tiger, I hope you get something from this, I really do. Tigers, the year of the rabbit is a year of major change for most signs, and I think you're no exception. The energy running through this is the Knight of Wands. He's a brave, he's a fearless knight, but he doesn't half rush into things and maybe gets into trouble as a result. Go to the bottom right hand corner and we have the World card. I think your world has already changed. You've already learnt your lessons and you should be experiencing luck now. So have you sort of preempted what so many people are going to experience during the year of the rabbit? I'm not sure. But it would feel that way because your current energy is that of the sun, so many blessings. The sun blazing down on you. A beautiful, beautiful card. Yeah. However, we have... in the future we have the Devil card. This is an unhealthy attachment towards something. Most likely an unhealthy attachment. The energy that gives rise to the outcome is the Two of Pentacles. This is you struggling a bit, maybe struggling with work, maybe struggling with money, struggling to do everything that you need to do. But it's also a card that says you're going to manage, you're going to get through it. So it's a sort of a temporary thing, I think. The card that would change the outcome is that a 6 or a... I think it's a 6. I better check. Yeah, it's a 6 of Wands. You're scoring some victories and getting public recognition for it. Now this is winning a battle rather than a war, but... given that it offsets the outcome, maybe you think it's more important than it is. Because the outcome's a great outcome, I think. Emperor, the father figure of authority, sitting in your power, wise, knowledgeable. People come to you for advice. So I think that's a great card. What the hell is this all about? Have you been through your changes and learnt things, and you're in a good position to deal with the problems that I think many people are going to face during the year of the rabbit. Maybe you're the leader that we're looking for, the leader that we don't have. I don't know. I certainly need to unpack these cards a bit more, don't I? The energy that runs throughout this entire reading and impacts on all the other energies is the Knight of Wands. And I mean, he's an admirable knight, he's brave, he's fearless. But he is prone to rushing into things. So I wonder if this is a warning not to rush so much. I wonder if it is. Certainly there's much going to happen in the year of the rabbit that you won't fully comprehend, and if you rush into it you could get it very wrong. You look at him and this rendering always reminds me of the opening of King Tutankhamun's tomb, and Lord Carnarvon and the others rushed in, and supposedly because of the curse of Tutankhamun they were all dead within a year. And I don't know, it just reminds me of that, and I need to keep that in mind as I interpret all the other cards. In your recent past we have the World card. This means that a cycle has come to an end and a new cycle has begun, and you should be blessed with some good luck as a result. Hopefully you learned the lessons of that cycle. Now, a good many people are having cycles ending during the Year of the Rabbit, but this predates the Year of the Rabbit. So I wonder if you're at the leading edge of things. It feels a bit like that to me. That you've already undergone the changes that so many people are going to experience during this Year of the Rabbit. That's interesting if you have. Now, remember that the Knight of Wands is about you rushing. Even if you have learned, maybe there's a learning not to run before you can crawl. Maybe. I said these changes, this end of a cycle and beginning of a new cycle, should bring about good fortune to you. And we now have the Sun card, which is exactly that. Loads and loads of good fortune. The sun beating down on that couple. Do they have a little Scotty dog with them? I think they do. Sunflowers around them, so it's well, the sun's a wonderful thing. When I go walking out in the sun, I always feel like I'm gaining energy from it, and I think you do. You're enlivened from it. Look at them dancing. It couldn't be better, could it? So many, many blessings. Feeling happiness, and happiness is infectious. Now, the Year of the Rabbit is going to be a miserable time for many people, and I'm so pleased that you're happy. I'm so pleased you've got this, because as I say, it's infectious and we need happy people. We certainly do in this year. Now, there's always a but, isn't there? And it's come immediately. This is your future energy, and it's the Devil. It suggests some sort of a unhealthy attachment. Could be an addiction. It could be addicted to anything. It could be alcohol. It could be narcotics. Could be an addiction to a person. It could be an addiction to listening to my tarot readings. Absolutely anything. But it's something that's somewhat unhealthy. Now, when I look at this particular rendering, it reminds me of Iron Bridge from near where I'm from in Shropshire. And Iron Bridge, it's where they first had iron, cast iron, started casting iron on an industrial scale. So it was full of iron furnaces. And of course, the iron furnaces and the smoke belching out completely ruined the wonderful Iron Bridge Gorge, but it also brought great wealth to the area. So it was something of a double-edged sword, and that's what I think this attachment is. Do maybe you're attached to a world that's changing rapidly. It could be that. It could be that, because the Year of the Rabbit, the world is going to change, particularly for those of us living in the West. And maybe you're attached to it. Maybe you're attached to going out and earning a living. Maybe you're attached to paying your rent and paying off your sports car, sending your children to private schools, etc. I don't know. But I've got the impression that this Devil card isn't, well, it is bad, but it isn't, it's not necessarily if you can overcome the attachment, then you'll be fine. Let's put it that way. Now, that Devil card's in the future, and this next energy is the energy that leads to the outcome. And it's the Two of Pentacles, and that's you struggling a little with something. Now, I might have hit the nail on the head when I said maybe you're attached to your job, maybe you're attached to paying your rent and paying the loan on your sports car and your children's private schools, because you're struggling a little now, struggling to do everything. It doesn't mean to say you're not going to succeed, but you're struggling. You look at the card, well, I think riding a penny farthing would be hard enough, Riding a penny farthing in Edwardian costume would be near to impossible. Riding a penny farthing in Edwardian costume at night, I don't think it could be done. And then riding it along a seashore seems like madness. But you know, I think you'll succeed. I think you will, but I think you've got to push through something, and there's something there that you're not quite getting, that you're not quite pushing through. Yeah, I think you're attached to your current lifestyle. That's what I feel it is. I don't know why, but I do. Now the energy that would change the outcome is the Six of Wands. This is a card of you winning a battle, but not necessarily the war, and getting public recognition for it. You look, he's going through the streets, he's won a battle, and everybody's looking out for him. I don't see anybody who's particularly jealous. There is one man on the balcony that could be, but it's not necessarily a card of jealousy, this one. What I think it's more to do with is... yes, of course. Remember, the energy running through it is the Knight of Wands, and I said that's you rushing into things. And I think you have largely grasped what's going on in the Year of the Rabbit. I think you are too attached to your current lifestyle to really let go of things and fully embrace change. And I think because you jumped the gun a bit, you know, people tend to look towards you and say, oh, yeah, you seem to know what's happening, we'll follow you. And that leads you into a false sense of security that you really do have the solutions, and I'm not certain that you do yet. I'm not certain that you've got them. You're well on the way. You're well on the way, Tiger. But I think, well, Tiger, what a wonderful thing. It's, you know, Tigger, let's say. Yeah, bouncing around, but I haven't quite got there. There's no doubt in my mind that we need leaders in the Year of the Rabbit. There's no doubt in my mind that we've been let down by our current leaders. And we will be seeking new leaders, and I think you emerge as one. Because we now have the Emperor card, which is a father-like figure, a figure of authority, somebody that does lead people, somebody that people look up to. But I just have this doubt as to whether you've actually got to grips with all that's happening. I just get the impression that you're too wedded to the past. You're too wedded, as I say, to your job, paying a mortgage, or paying a rent, paying for your car loan, etc. You haven't released enough, is my feeling, to truly take on this leadership role. That's just the feeling I'm getting, Tiger. I'm running off on this, Tiger, aren't I? And we need some clarity. Let's see if I've got any of this right at all. Now, is my interpretation anywhere near the mark? And I suppose it hinges on this Devil card. What is the attachment? Now, the first card we get is the Five of Pentacles, the card of poverty. So I don't think you're attached to poverty, but worried about poverty. Too attached, as I say, to material things. However, you do have some new information comes in. The King of Swords. I'm not certain it's complete. And I think you've run off and started action planning as a result, the Three of Wands. So it is feeling like I've got this completely right. Let's look at each card individually, however. So the first card of clarity, and remember we're clarifying the devil, is the Five of Pentacles, which I would call a card of poverty. Could be the card of no mates. You look at her, is that her son or is that her younger brother? Doesn't matter, but you know, they're walking through the snow. It looks bleak, they look hungry, but they're walking in front of a chapel, so there's always hope with that beautiful stained glass window and the light coming out of it. Now, how you're surely not attached to poverty. I mean, I suppose you could be attached to a poverty mindset, but I don't get the impression that's right. No, I think you're worried about poverty. I think you're attached to your possessions and you're worried about losing them, and that's what's motivating you. And I don't think that you can fulfill this leadership role while you're still hanging on to the past in this way. That really is my opinion about it. You're hanging on to things and you need to abandon them. And if you did, you probably could become the emperor that you know, well, people do look up to you to become that emperor. And I think you could take it on if you could release things a little bit more. Next card of clarity is the Ace of Swords. This is you getting some new information. Yeah. Now, I was interpreting it as you get this new information and that pushes you into this leadership role, but no. Is your attachment more about wishing to lead? Maybe you're wishing to lead because you're worried about your possessions. You see, you've got some information. You've got some information that's important for what's going on in the world for the year of the rabbit. But I don't think you've got all the information, or if you have, you're not using it correctly. There's something missing here, because we wouldn't have the devil card. You're being a bit of a devil. Is that it? You've got hold of some information, you're spotting an opportunity for yourself, when really we're looking for leaders who are selfless. We've had enough leaders who look after themselves, haven't we? I wonder. I'm getting there now. We've got this three of wands, which is about you action planning. Remember, the whole thing is about the knight of wands, you rushing into things. Yeah, so you're seeking to avoid losing what you perceive to be your possessions, your life, what you think defines you, when really it's the complete opposite. You get hold of some information. I don't think you've got it all, but you start running off with it. You start planning, you start doing things. Yeah, you start saying, okay, there's turmoil in the world. How can I benefit from this? And that isn't what's required during the year of the rabbit, because the true leaders are going to be those who empower people. True leaders aren't going to look anything like our current crop of leaders. In fact, the world is going probably to be a more loving world, a more community based. It's not going to look anything like it did before. And I think you've got things a little wrong. I don't think you're necessarily that bad a person. And people look up to you because you do seem to have got a vision, but I think your vision isn't quite right. That's what I'm feeling, yeah. Well, I'm going to summarise for you now, Tigers. Tigers, the year of the rabbit is going to be a year of major change, particularly for people in the West. And we're going to be looking for leadership. We're going to be looking for new leaders because our current leaders have got things so completely wrong. And you emerge as one of these leaders, and you do have the ability to lead. but you've got things slightly wrong. Now, to a certain degree, you're ahead of the pack because you've already been through a personal transformation in which you've learned things. And as a result of that, you're getting many blessings in this year, whereas most people are losing everything. But you're a bit prone to rushing. You're a bit prone to rushing ahead. And, I said you got many blessings. You will have some struggles. It's not going to be easy. And I think you're going to have to struggle to hang on to your lifestyle. And I think you're a bit addicted to that lifestyle, if the truth be known. And as you sort of begin to emerge as this leader, this person that's capable of leading, you see an opportunity to continue with life's luxuries, but you're not as selfless as you need to be for what I see as what's going to change in the world. No, you get hold of a bit of information and you run with it. You run with it too quickly. You haven't grasped just how fundamental the changes are. I think you are a good leader. You just don't have the information, and you are prone to making rash decisions, you see, and you're running off with it and you're planning things, and people think, oh my God, he's somebody with a vision. Here's somebody with a vision. We'll follow him. We'll come and we'll speak to him. But I don't think you've quite got it right. I think you need to do a little bit more thinking. You're probably quite capable of this role, but you do rush into things a little bit too much. You get hold of some information and you run with it before you've fully thought it through.